Hey everybody. So today I'd like to do a video about remote support and an easy way to use it. Remote support is using a program that will remotely connect one computer to another in a way that a person can control the other computer. So for example, you're having a particular problem with your computer, maybe you don't know how to change some system settings and need help. I can log into your computer with your permission and control your mouse and keyboard input to change them myself. So this is obviously an extremely useful tool and is used all the time in providing tech support. What I'd like to show you is how to use a free program to connect to another computer remotely and what you can do with it. So the program we are going to be installing and using today is called TeamViewer. When this program is installed on your computer and is running on the computer you want to take control of, you can make the connection and begin working on whatever you're trying to do. TeamViewer is simple to use and it's a very well made program. The free version retains most of the features of the full version. It's also very useful because you can connect to and from Windows, Mac, Linux, and now additionally from an iPhone, iPad, or Android machine to a desktop computer. So there's a lot of options available and a lot of flexibility. To quickly address any security concerns, when your computer is being controlled by use of this program, your mouse and keyboard actions always take priority over the remote user. So if someone connected to your computer via this program TeamViewer, they suddenly go rogue and try to do something you don't want them to, you can just close TeamViewer on your computer and they'll be cut off instantly. So that's not really a problem. So having said all this, let's go ahead and take the first step. I'm going to be doing this mostly from the perspective of the remote connector, that is, the person who is logging in to the other computer to control it. So for us, the first step will be to install the TeamViewer software. So we're going to open up our web browser. We're going to go to teamviewer.com or just type in TeamViewer to Google. And it's going to be the first link right here. Alright, and then we're just going to hit this nice big green button, Start Full Version. And then we can just save that. And then we'll go ahead and open it up when it's done. I'm just going to hit Run. This is a safe piece of software. Alright, so we're going to see two options here, Install and Run. Run is if somebody else is installing this or you are installing this and you don't want it to actually be installed on your system because you only want to use it one time. But for us, we're going to be connecting to people, so we'll just go ahead and install this software on our computer. If you just want to use it one time, then go ahead and hit Run, but we'll do Install. We're going to use it for personal, non-commercial use. If you wanted to do this as a service to people and get money for it, I think that's a great idea, but you'd have to invest in a license from TeamViewer. So we're just going to do personal, non-commercial use. You can look at these terms if you want. I'm just going to agree to them and agree that I'm only going to use this for private use. And this is an interesting option that you could play around with if you want. If you think you're going to be connecting to a computer a lot, you can just set up a default password for the computer to have. And that's what you do if you'd hit yes. And that way, since the password is always the same, you always know what it will be. You can always connect to a certain computer. So if you want to always have consistent access, then you could try doing that. But we're not concerned with that right now. We're just going to go with no, which is the default. Now it's all installed and opened up on our computer, and we are all set as the connector. And in the next step, I'm going to switch over to the perspective of the person we're trying to connect to. So this stuff you'll be able to instruct them to do. Alright, so now we're looking from the perspective of what the other person is going to have to do to allow you to connect to them. And you can instruct them how to do this. It's basically the same thing, and it's very simple. So you're going to tell them to go to teamviewer.com, which we are already at. What you're going to have them do is click this Join a Session button below the button that you clicked. So click Join a Session and save it. And then when it's done downloading, we'll open it up and we'll go ahead and hit Run. And this is going to open up a nice little mini version, and this will make it so you can connect to them right away. So now that they have the program open, we're all ready to begin the connection. You as the connector will ask them for their ID and password numbers, which are right here. And then when they give those to you, you can enter them in and be able to connect to their computer. So now we'll go back to our regular perspective to proceed and show you how to do it. Alright, so now you're just going to have your friend give you their ID and password that we just saw, and you're going to enter it in here. I already have mine entered. I'm just going to hit connect to partner. And then you're going to type in the password that they give you. And congratulations, you're now in. We're now seeing a window with our friend's desktop in it. You can move around the mouse, you can type, you can minimize, you can go to the control panels. You can basically do 100% of the actions you could if you're actually there. So maybe our friend was having some trouble with the sound. We could go into control panels and we could check out the sound settings for him, and maybe we find there's some problem, we can just change it right here and fix it for him. And this opens up many possibilities for assisting someone, and it's actually really fun to do this as well. So I'll go over a few of the features that TeamViewer has that are actually very cool. Under extras, you have a record feature, so you can do a little recording of what's happening on screen, and then you can send this file to your friend if they would like to see how you fix something in the future if they forget how to do it, or you can just keep it for your own references. But you will need to have TeamViewer installed to be able to view that file. You can transfer files to and from both computers, which is very useful. This could be used if you had a driver or application you're trying to give them, or if they want to give some kind of file to you. It's just a very simple but powerful feature. So I'm not going to go over every feature, but just the ones that I tend to use the most. Under audio video, we have a chat feature, which can be useful. We can just close that up when you're done with it. Chat feature is useful, but I usually am using some other kind of chat program anyways, so I don't need it that often. If your computer or internet connection is slow, you can go under View, and you can change the quality of the image. You can remove the wallpaper, and you can just select a single window, adjust the screen resolution, and these things may help you if you have a slow computer to speed up the process if it's lagging. And under actions, we have some very cool features. You can actually switch sides with your partner, which means they are taking control of your computer. So I can just do that real quick for fun. Then suddenly, I have somebody else who's controlling my mouse. I'm not touching anything on this computer right now. And then I'll just have them switch back, so I'm in the driver's seat. I'm not quite sure where this would be used, maybe to collaborate or teach each other something. We also have an option to just execute the Control-Alt-Delete command. We have a feature which will lock the person's computer. Not quite sure why you need that. And this is one of my favorites, remote reboot. So you can restart your friend's computer, and TeamViewer will automatically reconnect to the computer once it is started back up. And this is very useful if you're installing drivers or installing new software or doing updates for the computer, because restarting is usually required during those processes. And you can even reboot into safe mode. And safe mode is a feature in Windows where Windows starts up with just the most basic primary services started. And this can be useful if you're trying to track down a virus that is really causing a lot of problems for your computer. This can help you get in without a lot of stuff loading, and is a more simplified version of Windows. And that can sometimes make the difference in how much control the virus has over your computer. So that's a useful tool to have. The Send Key Combinations button, you can have that on. When that is checked, the key commands that you are pressing on your computer will go through to the other person's computer. For instance, if you press the Windows key, now that's bringing up the Windows command on their computer instead of mine. Otherwise, if that wasn't selected, pressing the Windows key would just bring up my own Windows button. And that actually won't allow you to do Control-Delete. So if you want to do that, just remember that you have a little button right here for that, which will allow you to do that. The Disable Remote Input feature means you're disabling your friend from controlling the mouse or the keyboard. I'm not quite sure what this would be used for, if they're being a little obnoxious and won't give you the controls. It sounds a little bit dangerous, but actually if your friend wants to regain control, they can just hit Control-Alt-Delete and they will regain control of their computer no matter what. The show black screen function is if maybe you want to type in your email or a password or something on their computer and you don't want them to see it, then you can black out their screen while that process happens. But you'll need to have disable remote input on to do that function for some reason. I'm not sure why. And I actually noticed that I'm connecting to a Macintosh computer that is running Windows right now, and the blackout screen function is not really working on that for some reason, so just be a little wary of that. But on a regular Windows computer running Windows, it should work just fine. So that's basically it. You connect it to someone and have all these great tools at your disposal. You can just hit the X button to end the session and close everything up when you're done. So again, being able to do this so easily and with so many features is very cool, and you can really do a lot with it. So have fun and go play around with it. Thanks a lot for watching, and let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video, if it was clear or not, etc. And thanks a lot, and see you later.